So there's this pig. This pig wants triangles. He has one, but he wants the whole set. You collectors can understand. Anyways, the pig kidnaps the princess because she has a triangle. The pig is all like, "Give me your triangle." And the princess says, "No, I'm going to break it into eighths." The pig scoffs and says, "You can't divide 3 by 8." To which the princess responds, "Oh yeah, watch me," and proceeded to break the triangle into 8 pieces. Somehow she was able to give the pieces to her nursemaid, whom she tasked with hiding the pieces across the land to keep them from the evil pig's clutches. Naturally, the nursemaid hid the pieces in dungeons filled to the brim with the minions of the evil pig, effectively negating the whole point of splitting the triangle in the first place. With her first task complete, the princess asked her nursemaid to search across the land to find a hero who would be courageous and strong enough to defeat the evil pig. And she settled on the first person she ran into, a young elf boy wearing no pants holding only a small shield. I'm beginning to think that the nursemaid might be working for the evil pig. Anyways, our hero has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm round of applause for Link. Must have had a bad agent to have lost out on title rights to the princess. But don't worry, bud, you'll get your time to shine in the sequel, and a Game Boy game that gets a director's cut and a remake. Oh, I guess 2 other games use your name as a pun, but only in the West. In Japan, you're overshadowed by the literal gods of creation. Anyways, Link begins 90% of playthroughs of his journey by descending into a dark cave where he meets an old man. The other 10% of the time, it's either someone who has no idea what they are doing or someone who has decided that swords are for weaklings and are planning on battling Ganon with their bare hands like the psychopaths that they are. Anyways, the old man in the cave tells Link it's dangerous to go alone, take this, and hands him a bona fide legit weapon. So remember, kids, if you see a dark cave, be sure to walk into it because there might be old men in there waiting to give you presents. Link then travels around a bit, more than likely dying once or twice or 1,000 times, and finally comes across the first dungeon, the Eagle, named because it's shaped like an albatross. This dungeon is filled to the brim with spooky, scary skeletons, bats, slimes, pervert hands, and, well, they're called Garayas, but they kind of look like dog people that throw boomerangs. And before anyone calls me out, I absolutely know the actual names of all these monsters, being Stalfos Keys, Gels, Wallmasters, and the aforementioned Garayas. I just didn't think being nerdy would be all that funny, but now I do. Didn't even have to look up their names, I just knew them off the top of my head. I bet all the ladies will want me now. Yeah, I know random Legend of Zelda enemy names off the top of my head, no big deal. If only the real world worked that way. Anyways, you'll make your way through this dungeon, and along the way, you'll find a bow with no arrows and a boomerang. Both are completely useless in beating this dungeon. You then find the boss of the Eagle Dungeon, Aquamentus, which is some weird creature crossed between a dragon and a unicorn. Just bash your sword against its horn until it dies, then steal its heart and add it to your own. Oh, I suppose you should avoid the fireballs. It's the only thing Aquamentus can do to hurt you. That and call you names, you pantless long-eared freak. After defeating Aquamentus, you can collect the first piece of the Triforce. Little known fact, the original Legend of Zelda is an ancestor of the modern day Team Fortress 2. They are both endless quests to gain new hats.